Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this session with Tom's Treasure and Allie. Allie is a student of mine who's been working with me for quite a long time now. She's helped start quite a few horses, and she's hoping to get her own Mustang later this year, so that'll be super exciting. And she's helping me with Tom's Treasure because I'll be heading down to Florida for the winter pretty soon, and she's gonna keep up with her doing one session a week just to keep some under saddle training going. So Tom's Treasure will be 4 this year, and she is now had, I think this is her 4th ride. So her first 2 rides were with me, and then Allie's done 1 session before this, and I believe this is her 2nd session with Allie, and progressing to riding without being on a rope, which is pretty exciting. So starting to get into that steering and stopping and taking direction from the human on the back instead of a combination of the human on the ground and on your back. You can see she gets a little confused to start with, and we're just gonna kind of watch a little bit of how Allie works through this a little bit, and then I'll fast forward and show you how the session kind of finished up and whatnot. And this entire ride, I believe, was about 20 minutes, and we wanted to just go long enough that Tom's Treasure could work through some of the confusion and progress, but not so long that we made her sore or annoyed that it went too long or anything like that. So you can see Allie's kind of giving her a few rubs every now and again when she goes forward, but she's waiting until she actually earns a cookie, and she's kind of inviting her to go forward. She did a couple little steps there. She's going to earn one little cookie there, and then she's going to try to ask her to go forward again. So she's not actually asking her to go backwards or sideways or anything like that. She's just trying to get away from the mounting block essentially, and she was a little bit confused and kind of goes all over the place. And when you're first getting a horse to learn any skill, really, you have to kind of just get them going in the general direction of what you want, and then you can always refine it and fine tune it later. But if you ask for perfection right off the bat, you're probably just going to get a whole bunch of frustration. So here Allie's just putting her feet in the stirrups. So she's just getting settled there, and Treasure's kind of looking around like, oh, am I going to earn a cookie? It's like, nope, not yet. So she just kind of opens. You can kind of see with her hands, look how soft they are. She's keeping pretty much just a very slack rein, and you can see she's just moving her a little bit to the right, trying to get a little bit of a turn, but she's not pulling back in any way, shape, or form. And then when she goes to the right, she now opens to the left and is asking her to move left, and kind of zigzagging this way of left, right, will end up getting the horse to go forward. And you're just trying to turn to cause forward movement. So here you can see she's trying to turn left a little bit, and as Treasure backs up a little bit, she doesn't get mad at her, she doesn't get upset at her or anything like that. She's just simply trying to turn a little bit and get her away from that mounting block. And when she figures out the forward steps, that's when she's going to get the reward and praise. So there she finally gets 2 forward steps, so she's going to earn a cookie of going forward. So important when the horse is trying to figure things out that you don't get upset or mad at them. You just try to keep the communication really, really clear. So I'm going to speed up this next footage here so you can kind of see all the confusion that got worked through, all the sideways, backwards before she finally started figuring out to go forwards is what we were after, and earning some cookies along the way, some more backing up, confusion, doesn't really know where to go, sideways, doing all sorts of fancy, cute things before she starts going forward again. And then you can see that's when Allie gives her the cookie after she starts getting going forward. And once they have enough repetitions of figuring out the forward piece, then it will become a little bit easier for them. And having the boxes set up as visuals for her to steer around helps to make it a little bit more clear for the horse too, because it's like, oh, we have to get to this next box, or we have to go over here, or we're turning so we can get on this side of the box, and it helps the horse to figure those little pieces out. So she's doing an awesome job. Allie's so good at being soft and clear and confident, really, really good at her communication skills. You can see Treasure starting to figure out that forward momentum a little bit better now. She's walking around the boxes, moving more, doing really, really well with this session here. And then Allie goes up on the pedestal, and she does really, really well with that, and figuring out the balance of the rider, which is great. So Allie coming around here, uh, just steering and continuing to guide her where she wants to go. And we didn't want to do a really long session with her, so we're just going to kind of show you now towards the end of her session some of the different things she was working on. There was a little bit of a noise there, and she just kind of stopped and looked. Here, going over the bridges, so combining some of the things that she knows from the groundwork to the in-saddle work. She does that so nicely and carefully, which makes me pretty excited for her future, because hopefully she'll be able to do some extreme cowboy racing, which means being good with your feet and good on the obstacles. Here's a little bit more of her just doing a little bit more of those weaves. That was really awesome there, that she knocked over the box and didn't freak out or get upset or anything like that, which is great, because sometimes things like that can trigger a horse and get them upset, but she didn't go anywhere. Our goal for her sessions really is to have calm understanding of what we're asking her to do, and we don't want to push her to a place where she feels like she needs to react strongly and buck Allie off or anything like that. Our goal is to always keep our butts in the saddle and not to push her to a place where she panics to that extent. Up on the bridge again, earning her cookie. Really like how she's careful with her feet there. And you can see as she goes to step off of the bridge, Allie kind of holds on to the horn with one hand and just kind of gives her the loose rein. She wants to make sure that she has the full freedom to balance and do what she needs to do to step off that block. Of course, she kind of hesitated there, and then Allie had to ask her to continue going, which is all right. The worst thing you can do, or I shouldn't say the worst thing, because there's probably worse things you could do, but one of the things that's not good when you're training a horse under saddle is to ask them to go, but then kind of bump them on their face a lot. You want them to feel like they're free and able to move, and that's going to help them want to step out and move forward and not hinder that. You have to have forward motion before you can start anything like collection or teaching them a headset or any of those other little pieces. You need to have that forward established first, or your horse can kind of get really frustrated and stuck if you do like a go, start, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop kind of thing. So you want to make sure they're very free with that motion. The nice thing about all these cookies that she's getting too under saddle, she's getting a lot of lateral bends from right to left, from both sides, taking those cookies. See, there's another lateral bend, her checking in like that. So all of that bending is really good for her relaxation. It's really good for her suppleness. It's really good for her stretching. It's really good for her mental state to just not be stiff and locked up. So there's lots of good stuff that's going on there when she's doing that. Here, Allie's just sitting and being patient with her and just making sure that she's got time to process and blink and lick and chew and all of those good things. And then she'll go ahead and ask her to walk on again. It also really helps to make sure that she's understanding the go button and being able to walk forward from a halt, because as you saw at the beginning of the video, she was pretty confused about walking forward and what that meant. So by stopping on purpose and kind of hanging out for a little bit and asking her to go, this is showing real understanding here, that she was stopped and now she's gone forward. And you can see she's having to do a lot more to earn her cookie. She's walking, a full length across the arena, doing a little bit of a weave. She's going to come up onto the little block again here and earn her cookie. So she's doing a lot more to earn her treats, which is good. It means she's developing more of a work ethic, still getting lots of treats along the way, because these are very difficult things that she's doing. It's all new, it's all challenging, and we really want to keep her motivated to try. And any feelings she's having of being nervous or upset or anything like that, the positive reinforcement can help to override any negative reactions by simply keeping them really motivated. And this is super awesome here. This is her fourth ride under her saddle, and she is standing on a pedestal. So how cool is that she had the motivation, the balance, the confidence to be able to figure that out with Allie? That's super cool, and really exciting for her to be able to do that. Here's another little look going the other way. It wasn't just a one-time fluke. She was able to do it again from the other direction. And she's being a super little trooper, doing this pausing there, giving her lots of pets and praise, and she got her rewards. Make sure she knows that she's doing really awesome. Allie just kind of holding onto the horn, steering politely to ask her to come off of the pedestal, but see how she really lets her have her head, put her head down and balance as she comes off of that block. And as she's going up and down from the pedestals and things like that, it's really helping Tom's Treasure to get comfortable with the rider kind of moving around. So that's basically how we wrapped up the session. Really, really proud of her. Allie's second time on her and fourth ride overall. Thanks for watching, guys.